would say hot. So I'm a big believer that AI is not overhyped.
When we're talking about artificial general intelligence or, super intelligence, the idea of machines that can think and learn just like humans, I'm a lot more skeptical on that.
I think it's hyped in the wrong way. I actually am very excited about AI because I think that while everybody's thinking generic, everybody's using OpenAI and doing recipes or whatever, I actually think that AI at the edge is actually going to do a lot of very interesting things. It's very difficult for somebody to innovate when it's $100 million for a 10-day sprint.
I'm really excited about applied AI, like the machine learning or NLP technologies that are making waves right now with regards to automation or predictive analytics. So, for example, if you think about how AI is helping doctors with better diagnoses or how chatbots are transforming customer service, these are real tangible benefits that we're seeing right now. And I think we're just at the beginning of discovering the value there. But when we're talking about artificial general intelligence or, super intelligence, the idea of machines that can think and learn just like humans, I'm a lot more skeptical on that.
I think it's hyped in the wrong way. I actually am very excited about AI because I think that while everybody's thinking generic, everybody's using OpenAI and doing recipes or whatever, I actually think that AI at the edge is actually going to do a lot of very interesting things. It's very difficult for somebody to innovate when it's $100 million for a 10-day sprint to test something out on one of these big generative AIs. But what's really interesting, as inference moves to the edge to small chips, you can now start solving very interesting problems. Like, for example, in Europe, in 5 years, there will be a net of 50% less doctors, right? So what does that mean? You have an aging population, and you have a lot of medical scenarios in which if you can use technology to sort of avoid some of the more expensive medical conditions, you create a situation in which people can be cared for with less resources. But you think about all the other things you can do with AI at the edge. Like, you can do things in the area of agriculture. You could do things in the area of, there's just many different areas in which you can use these technologies, from supply chain to mobility. And so we've been talking a lot about AI to have more efficient processes, but now we can problem solve. And that, I think, is where it becomes really interesting if you think about each one of the industrial revolutions and how it's improved some aspect of our life. So I'm very excited about it. I just think that people are so focused on generic AI taking over the world with robots, running around and doing anything for us. I think that people are just sort of misunderstanding where some of the interesting development is actually going to take place.
I don't know that companies are really getting it yet to make it hot. And I think it is a little bit like the hype seems to be leading what's going on. I'm having a lot of really interesting conversations where it's more like companies aren't even figuring out well how to use technologies like generative AI to solve their problems. They're kind of throwing it out there and seeing what sticks, which isn't really working well.
I would say hot. So I'm a big believer that AI is not overhyped, that there's a lot of potential there. I'm very pro AI. Where I'm cold against AI and where it could be a problem is really the marketing and how companies are mixing terminology and really causing confusion in the marketplace. I think what we see today for our prospective customers and just going out to talking to different organizations, it's clear that there's a high level of need for education around AI. I think a lot of people don't truly understand what it is, what it can be used for, and there's just kind of a lot of overhype in the marketing and the language used around AI. But I think as a technology, I'm very pro AI and believe that we've just scratched the surface, that there's going to be a number of use cases that we haven't thought of yet that could be beneficial to society at large.
I think it is, but justifiably so, because it is such an exciting development, and every day there are new products coming to market or new capabilities being announced, and there are a lot of people who want to know what's coming and what impact it's going to have on the world of business, and so they write about it. So we get into this cycle of hype because there's a huge amount of content about AI. But the important thing is to focus on practicalities of it for enterprises and focus on its responsible application.
Oh, I'm sitting with Sarah on this one. I think it's a yes and no. I think that there is overhype for the potential of AI and the wanton use of AI. And I think the responsible use of AI is to use it very cautiously, judiciously, wisely, and hopefully we will end up with something which is of benefit to mankind, but isn't going to drown us at the same time.
I think generative AI has got a heck of a long way to go. McKinsey reckon generative AI is going to add $4.4 trillion to global wealth in the next few years. And they also think 65% of organizations are already regularly using generative AI. I think actually they are way underestimating things in many ways there. I work with lots of organisations who haven't even started scratching the surface about what they use these tools for. Most leaders don't understand its potential, and like that comment just now, a lot of people don't understand that it's a giant prediction machine. They think somehow it's surfacing truth. So there's a lot of way to go before leaders really understand what its potential is and start using it effectively.